A very good morning to computer science patines. Let us start our computer lecture with the topic composition. This is a topic of chapter 3, working with the functions. Okay, so what is composition? Composition is actually using an expression as a part of larger expression. Means when there is a complex expression given and we are using that expression, okay, as a part of something else, like we have greater function and we are using these two small expressions inside this as arguments, so this is called composition. Okay, fine. So firstly these need to be evaluated, then we can use these particular solutions as argument to this greater function. Okay, 5 plus 4 is 9 comma 7, so greater 9 comma 7, so this will be your finally the function call. Okay, so arithmetic expression we are using as a composition. Similarly, logical expression we are using inside it, a or b. Firstly this will be solved, then the value of, see, either a or b means either a or b. The answer of or operator is always either 0 or 1. So if value of this expression is replaced by 1, then this test function will be executed. If it is replaced by 0, then this will go false. Okay, now next is a function called with this type of function composition. So integer, whatever string 52 is to be converted into integer, so it will give you output 52. Okay, it will get converted into 52 integer. This way 52.5, okay, float value will be converted into 2 and then it will be converted to integer. Okay, here also string 52, it will be replaced with 52, this will be replaced with 10, then 52 plus 10 in integer value will be 62 in output. Okay, now next topic is scope of variables. See, there are actually two scopes of variables. Either it can have a global scope or it can have a local scope. Here it has explained this concept of scope with an example. Like you go in a historical palace that is having many monuments to see. Okay, so you enter a first monument, say A, and you bought a ticket for it. Okay, when you come out of it, that ticket was valid until and unless you were in monument A. When you came out of that monument, that ticket became invalid. Okay, now you want to see another monument, that is B. So ticket that you have purchased for monument A will not be valid in monument B, so you need to purchase another ticket for it. Okay, and another way government has done something to promote tourism is to launch a city based ticket, say ticket 3. Okay, this ticket is valid for all the monuments. Okay, so this ticket 1 and ticket 2, that ticket 1 was valid for monument 1 and ticket 2 was valid for monument B, sorry. Okay, that was valid for monument A, that is valid for monument B, but this ticket 3 is valid for all the monuments. So the ticket 1 variable and ticket 2 variable, they are called local variables which have local scope. Okay, within a particular specified function. Okay, within a specified area, okay, that you will be specifying. Okay, and the variables which are valid for the complete program, the complete city based ticket na. So these types of variables will be known as having global scope, or we can say global variables. Okay, so now let us implement this concept of local and global scope in the program as well. So if the particular variable is having global scope, then it will be accessible throughout the function, or we can say program. Throughout the program, that particular variable will be accessible. Okay, and if it is having the local scope, then that particular variable will be accessible in particular local function within a limited range. Okay, so if we are declaring the element in the element, or we can say variable in the main function, main part of the program, then it has the global scope. I'll show you in the program also how to identify the global variable and how to identify the local variable. Okay, so if if it is inside the main part of the program, then it will have the global scope, and if it is having the local scope, then it will be defined inside only the single function. Okay, so let us see. This page was extra, 2 times it has come. This is the next page. Yes, global scope. Now we will read about the local scope. The definition is given. The global variable is a variable defined in the main program or in the main section. Such variables are said to have global scope. Then a local variable is a variable defined within the function, such variables are said to have the local scope. Like example is given, ticket 2 and ticket 1, they both were having the local scope, and ticket 3 was having the global scope. Now let us take an example here. See, we have defined a function here, calcsum, okay, with 2 variables x and y. So this was your function header. Okay, this is your function header. So initially it will be ignored. Now the execution will start from here. Here you can see that num1 the value will be assigned by the user itself. First number, this is the second number that the user will enter, then sum. See here, from here the main part of the Python program will start. Function definitions are never read before the function call is executed. So these function headers are just seen by the Python interpreter and then ignored completely. These statements are not read. These statements are read only when the function call will be encountered. So initially the program execution will start from the main part. From here the main part will start after the function definitions. Okay, so num1, num2, sum, these 3 are in the main part of the function. So these 3 will be known as your global variables. Now you have seen the function call. Function call, as it has been encountered, it will go to the function definition. So it will come here. So num1 and num2, values of num1 and num2 that the user has entered with the help of these input functions will be passed to x and y respectively. Okay, so now x and y has received the value from num1 and num2. Okay, so now z, x and y will not be considered local. Actually z will be considered local. Why? Because before this calcsum function we were known about the value of z, and that is only calculated with the help of addition of these 2 variables. Okay, they are x and y, they are just num1 and num2. Okay, so we can't say they are the new variables, they are the replacement of num1 and num2. So these 2 are not the local variables. Z is the local variable because it has came into existence inside this calcsum function. So z will be called local to this function calcsum. Okay, so z will return the value to calcsum, and this value will be replacing this particular function statement, and you will get the value. Okay, so num1, num2 and sum, these are the global variables, and z is your local variable to the calcsum. Okay, if you are trying to use this z here to print value, it will give you error. Okay, it will not be executed. Why? Because it is inside the calcsum only, it is existing inside this function only. Outside it is not known to anyone. Like ticket 1 is not valid for any other monument, like ticket 2 was not valid for any other monument. So these are the local variables. Like z is the local variable. If you are trying to use it somewhere else, that will not be allowed. Okay, okay, see, he is saying x and y are also considered the local variables. Okay, fine, although they are getting value from num1 and num2, still it is calling it as x and y also as the local variables. Okay, x, y, z are the local variables to this function. Okay, and num1, num2 and sum are the global variables. I hope the concept is clear. Now you can use this same program to see it in a diagrammatic form, so that you may understand it very clearly. So it is telling you how the execution is taking place. So initially, see, execution will start from line 1. Okay, but 2 and 3 will not be executed. I told you it will be executed only when this sixth function call, sixth lines function call will be taken up. Okay, so initially first statement, this function header will be read up. Okay, after that it will come to statement fourth only. That will be the actual statement one. This will be read but will be ignored. So first statement that will be read by the Python interpreter will be this statement 1, then statement 2, statement 3, then it will take it here, like that it will go on. So let us see the diagrammatic representation also. So def is encountered, 2 and 3 are ignored. Okay, now nothing has happened this against this statement. Line 1 totally go on a different side, it was not executed. Now secondly what will be executed? The line 4. I told you execution will begin from here. Okay, this is the main. Okay, this is the main part. The execution begins. So here what we are doing, num1, we are taking value of num1 from the user. So here this environment will be provided. Num1 will be user has assigned value 3 to num1. Okay, next statement will be num2. So this num2 will also enter in this global environment and the user will assign the value. Similarly num2 has been assigned 7. Okay, now next after line 4, line 5 will be executed. This is the main statement 2. Okay, then after that what will happen? This statement will be executed, sum, calc sum. Now as this calc sum is executed, it will transfer it to here. So again inside this scope another scope you will have, that will be the local scope inside it. So you see diagrammatically how they are representing it. So this x and num1 and num2 was assigned to x and y. So when this line 6 calc sum function call we have received, it creates another environment here, that is a local environment of calc sum function, where the values of num1 and num2 are passed to x and y. Okay, now what will happen then? Inside this function the calculation will be done, z is equals to x plus y, and then return z. Okay, 2 and 3 will be executed. So initially 2 and 3 were ignored, but now this 2 and 3 will be executing here. Okay, now line 2 and 3 will be executed. Line 3 again it will return the value. Okay, value is returned to the function itself. Now it will get back to this function. See, return statement will return the value here, sum function sum ko de degi. Okay, and this scope will disappear. Okay, this after this we are getting, so global is the same but local has now gone out of existence. Why? Because the z has been assigned to वापस here to sum. Okay, this function call has replaced it with 7. This complete statement here we have 7 and it has been assigned to sum. So sum now comes in existence. So num1, num2 and sum will be there in the global scope. You can see here sum is 10. Okay, now the print value statement, so it will be now coming into existence. The 7th line, now it will print the value of sum. I hope it is clear. Okay, so now your program is over. So x is equals to 5. Again he is discussing variables defined outside all functions are also global. If before the function definition you are writing something, some variable like this, okay, then it is also the global variable. Okay, whatever is written inside the main, see this is the local scope of function func. Okay, from here the main part of the Python starts. So y, z, these are two global variables and x also global. Why? Because it has been defined before that function definition. Okay, so here if you are writing before function definition, you are writing any variable, you are declaring any variable, that will also be local, global. Okay, now another example he is taking. Now two functions he has used. Okay, initially he has taken one function definition, now it has taken two functions, and note it, the function call is here. This average function is calling calc sum inside it. Okay, this is also important to note. You know initially how the execution starts. Firstly this particular function header will be read, then these two will be ignored, then this function header will be read, this will be ignored, execution start from here. Okay, so let us see what it will do. num1, num2, num3. Okay, what it is trying to do, this will take the values from num1, num2 from the user. Okay, 3 numbers will be entered with the help of input function by the user. Then afterwards this statement will get executed and average function will be called, and 3 arguments will be passed, num1, num2, num3 from here. Okay, this is the function call. So firstly 7 will be executed, 8 will be executed, 9 will be executed, in 10 may it will again give a function call. So it will go to the function definition. Where is the function definition? It is here. So num1, num2, num3, these value will be passed to x, y and z. Okay, when it enters inside this function, so it will call calcsum. This is again a function called whatever x, y, z has received for average. Firstly the sum has to be calculated, then we need to calculate the average, na? So in average, summation of the variables should be done first. So as it is receiving the values, it is calling the function sum to add. Okay, so these 3 values are passed to calcsum also, then they are passed to x, y, z are passed to abc. Now abc will be added up and it will be stored in s. Now return s, it will return it to here in sm. The sum of the function variables will be stored. Now this sm will be divided by 3. Now this will return this average here. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So firstly the input will be taken up, then this function call will take it here, then calcsum function, it will take it here, then calculation will be done, return it here, then again this will go in sm and it will return divided by 3. This function will return it here. Okay, now you can see it diagrammatically also. Initially this and this are read, but these two statements are ignored. So line 1 is read, line 4 is read, this definition function headers are read, and next two statements are ignored. Then line 7, okay, as this comes, it will come here in the global environment, then num2 will come, num3 will come. Okay, like this. Okay, then after that when this function call will come, it will take it to which line number? 4. Okay, this will take it to line number 4. Okay, then it will take it to line number 1. Okay, then 2, 3 will be executed. Fine, so it will move like this. So you can see, firstly you passed it to num1, num2, num3 to average function x, y, z, then it was passed to calc function. Okay, inside it was called given to calc function. Now this calc function will return it here, then this will go here. I hope it is clear. See, when this will disappear, then you will get result here. When this will disappear, you will get result here. So similarly it will go. Okay, sm will be inside this environment average. Okay, this will disappear, it will come in sm, will come in average. Okay, fine, I hope it is clear. Finally this will disappear and you will get it here 5.0. okay, so this was your program. Now one more concept is there regarding the name resolution, that I'll be discussing in my next video. Thank you.